Hey there, my name is Anthony. I don't really post a whole lot on here, but with the Mythos release and just everything as far as, well, Fable, that is, right, our minimal or minimized version of Mythos, I wanted to make sure that I was just jumping on board and trying to see if I did some tests, and I've seen some things as far as in the community here, well, a couple of groups, I suppose, and wanted to make sure that I just share what I've got here. Generally, because I think that it's useful too, I'm going to use this tool, and I've been having some issues with getting this up and running as far as the way that's getting the capture, and so I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I was able to create with Mythos. Right here, let me get myself down here in the corner. If you jump over to mdwmg.com, it stands for multi-device website mockup generator, is what it stands for, and you know, there's just a lack of these around the internet. There's some, okay, but they don't do what you want. They're covered with ads. They're not very functional, and I have kind of a structure or a system that I like to use for my own organization and agency. When we create websites and then create mockups, this is just easier for me because I figured, hey, let's just create our own tool. So what was able to be created was this right here. We'll go ahead and just change this to a different website. I'm going to go to examples.com, and the benefit of this tool, of course, is that we're being able to create a simulation of browsing our websites and hopefully being able to show them off. But also, one thing that I really liked to do with another tool that I won't mention, but so I kind of took the inspiration, so to speak, of that, was a web-related tool where you could actually navigate to a few different areas of the website and quickly spin up your version of your demo, right? So if I'm wanting to create a mock-up for a customer, I don't want everything, the homepage on this and this and this and this. I might want to show off something right here. This is going to be the chemistry page. Right here, we've got a little funnel to show the cards or perhaps the t-shirts. And then here's a grid, and then we've got a modal pop-up right there. So if this is my perfect snapshot I've interacted with in the iframe, and originally with Sonnet, I was having the largest difficulty with fine-tuning some of the capacity for it to capture a screenshot and actually show everything the way that it should be once interacted with. So once we've interacted with this now, we can go ahead and download the PNG. It does hijack the browser for a brief moment, snaps everything, and then hey, it went ahead and popped up a fantastic mockup. Now I picked the JPEG version, so we've got the black, the solid white image there, but we can also select PNG, download the same exact thing, and then now we have got a high fidelity version of the same exact thing in a PNG. And this was really important to me because I figured that this is what we do. We build websites, we show them off, we display them, and I don't know, I just had the biggest challenge in making sure that things were consistent with the tool that I was previously using. And once you create your own tool, you have the own autonomy to do that. So this was really important for me to be able to create. And Mythos, or Fable, let's say, was able to spin this up. As far as the token usage and the approximate percentage, this is all for research purposes. I'm just sharing public information and hopefully sharing a tool that people like, because I'm going to be using this too, is that I'm on the 20x plan for Claude. And I started at about 3%. So right now I'm approximately 18%. I would have to say that jumping into the middle of this project, we've used approximately about, let's just say 10%, 12% to be, maybe 15 to be generous, in order to get this up and going. That's total usage for the week until Sunday resets. As far as our session for a 4 or 5 hour window session, gosh, I don't think it exceeded it. We didn't have any kind of issues with that. And so generally speaking, it was a pretty efficient build. It was used with the PowerShell version of our Claude executor. And then we went ahead and threw it into, threw it in through a goal and made sure that it was going to solve the problem that we had with the screenshotting dilemma, and then also adding on a handful of functionality. Some of that was also right here. We've got a screenshot staging option. So if per chance, this is how I'm going to use it at least. I do have meetings with people, whether they're on Zoom like right now, or I might send over a video just like this, or perhaps I might actually show up to someone's company and, we're talking about this and we pull it up on the TV. And either way, it might be nice to show up an actual display. And so this right here is just for presentation mode, so to speak. You could have this up in front of a client, kind of click through and say, all right, here's the tablet view, here's the desktop view, here's the, whatever the case is, right? We're able to click right here and drag around it. So we have a canvas, so to speak. We can zoom in to be able to maybe take a look a little closer at these things. And then right here, it'll get us back to our default, and we can also change the background back and forth. So that's a feature that was able to be implemented. And then if you just kind of spring cleaning things, you want a different background, okay. You want to make sure that it's got a little bit more of a dramatic shadow, which looks awful. We can do that too. And then there's a few different layouts just for options in the case that maybe you want to show it off in a different capacity. Some other things that it was able to do was generate a case-by-case device usage. And so if you just want to show the phone or just want to show the phone and tablet, then all of these can be filterable. They also reset. So if you mess it up, you can just get right back to it. And then there's also an option to drag these right here too. So there's a handful of different little things I think that were really useful that it did allow us to explore and enable. There's some small aesthetics, UX and UI, that I probably would have improved and not super thrilled with. And this was not a one prompt shot. I did, and I do like my own autonomy within my projects, and so I'm not going to let it ride and just throw those dice. I want to make sure that I know a little bit of what it's doing and how it's being managed. And so that's basically the rule of thumb on how this was all built. Now, it wasn't from 0 to 100, and so this project was basically up to what you visually see here, with excluding the features of the screenshot or the presentation mode. And then also it did not fully function for the PNG and the JPEG download when it came to navigating around the screens. And then there were a handful of flaws. Mobile responsiveness was very shoddy. We were receiving a handful of errors in the logs, and it's not perfect yet. It still isn't in any kind of way something functional, but hey, we've got everything. Got a little dark mode, light mode if you want to get blinded. Just about every little thing to be able to make this a successful trial, I suppose. But anyway, I thought that this was useful just to share with communities and make sure that there's some transparency on what professionals are using as far as this tool and the new release of Fable. Hopefully it goes somewhere really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to share this to hopefully provide some insight and also provide a really cool tool. So if you like it, love it, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. You can just disregard this. But I hope this is useful. All right, I'll see you.